Alright, so my name is Jacob McGinnis. Today we'll be doing a bit of a demonstration video on how to cook mussels. And first, before we actually go into anything, just a little bit of context. I won't be following a very specific recipe today. This will just be how I typically cook my mussels, how I've come to like them, and they will be cooked to match the flavor of my meal. With that being said, they're not the focus of the meal, but they are going to be the focus of this video. The rest of the meal will just be some steamed broccoli, rice, strip loin steak, mussels. They're a highly regulated food in Ontario, especially the way they're harvested and grown, so you don't typically have to worry about too much, but I seriously would not recommend eating them raw. As well, you need to ensure that any mussel you do plan to prepare and eat is fully alive before you consume it. Mussels, they decay very fast and they become very unsafe to eat within a short while of them actually passing away. So you will want to make sure that really any mussel you grab, if they are open, knock them on the table a bit and make sure they're closed. On top of that, if they don't close, or if they're cracked, broken, or damaged, even if they might be alive, it's best not to risk it just because you shouldn't. Cleaning the mussels, there's a little bit of a hair that sticks out of them, and they call this beard. And you're just going to want to grab it and you pull it right down and it comes out. Well, as thoroughly scrub them, clean them. They should be maybe not this clean, but they should be very clean, especially considering what you'll be serving them in is what they're cooked in. So we fried the steak. And now that the steak is fried, we're going to deglaze the pan in just a little bit of red wine. We're also going to need some stock, which we've got here. I'll be using chicken because that's what I have. So, quite a lot of stock. I'm not that they're going to burn off instantly. We're going to get our tongs and just break that up. So, I've also got onions and garlic and shallots here. So we're going to go ahead and put those in. Lemon juice. And remember where we are. So we had a seasoned steak, which wasn't really a part of it, and we seared it, and now we're using what I believe they call it fond, which was what was left on the pan. We put some chicken stock in to get some of that flavoring, added a little bit of shallots and garlic finely sliced, and now we're just going to let it simmer down a bit. Once it sort of is looking the way that it should, I'm gonna go ahead and add some wine, a little bit of extra seasoning, which I'll go over when the time comes, and then we'll get to the mussels. A little bit of a closer look. The next part, once it starts to simmer, is we're gonna add a bit of wine. And we definitely want to give that some time to cook off, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so as we come to this stage when it's simmering down a bit, we're going to want to keep an eye on it, make sure nothing burns, and simultaneously prepare. Add more liquid if you have to. Again, I'm using chicken stock. You can use water, you can use beef, you can use vegetarian. I wouldn't recommend vegetarian, but we're going to cook the mussels. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of extra lemon juice. And I have been adding chicken stock periodically just as I cook this, but it's not something you can measure. Get one of these bad boys. A handful of these, and again, make sure they're all closed. Drop them in. 3 minutes. Alright, so now it's time to plate them and cook the next pound. I recommend cooking them a pound at a time just so that it's not inconsistent and as well so you don't flood the pan. Next batch is in. They're searing up. Close it. And now we're going to take the steak out of the oven, let it rest, and plate it right there. And this is how you cook mussels for tea.